What's up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I've got something really special for you guys. I bought a new copy of Wukong and it is an insane one. It is an absolutely insane copy and we got 205 million attack on it already. So let me show you the copy first before we talk about this attack, because there are two or two things we have to say. Look at this beauty. 9572 attack, SSS tier, and 96 speed, also SSS tier. And this thing is crazy. I saw this and I was like, yeah, that's a good copy. That's a really nice copy. I could probably see that on my account. Spent a lot on it. I think I bought it for 385,000 starry gems. I think that was the price, of 380,000. And then I checked this out and it has 1 bar to full progress. And this is kind of insane because in VR the last bar, that is not a full bar. 3022 merging progress needed for cap SSS tier stats, And if we check out another SS tier, we can, for example, go to that Melissa, which is also a beautiful copy, by the way. We can see it's 7 bars and 4,120. And this means it is super close to the cap stats of SS tier, which is insane. We will never upgrade it to SSS tier, just to make that clear. That is basically impossible. It is an absolute madness how expensive that is. Because even now we would still need like 3 A tiers probably to reach those max stats for SS tier, even though it is just this very small piece. And then the upgrade from SS to SSS. And every time you reach the cap stats for that, you have to provide an additional sacrifice to make the breakthrough. Explained all of that in my guide on Soul Perfection. If you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. All of the maths, everything is in there. It's on my old channel, on the Wraec channel, but you can just search Wraec Soul Perfection, you will find it. Break requirements are 3 A+ heroes, 1 S tier and 2 SS tiers. All of those you have to sacrifice, and we would probably get like 1 more speed or something, so we'll never do that. Then about the attack. The attack is another thing. We have 205 million. Some of you may have said, okay, Wraec, yeah, isn't it that your LFA is just bigger? Yeah, the problem still is this guy has horrible tenants and probably some of the worst copies I have on my account. I mean, Tomb is alright. Still an assassin though. And then we have LDA, which is in fact the worst Transcendence Hero copy I own at an A-. And brings us to 22 million attack. And even though we don't really have the Soul Perfection and everything set up right now and the artifacts, even my LFA still has 44 million. So that is like a huge block of attack already missing. And they do this quite often now. Like, they give horrible tenants to the heroes, especially if they think it's a really good one. Then they start off with like 2 assassins. I think they did the same for TBB, which was absolutely horrible. Where is she actually? Scroll down there, where we have like the LDA and they gave her the BQA, which is BQA is a little bit better, I guess, as another assassin instead of another assassin, but like still starting off with horrible tenants. And later on you can see we got Patricia in there, which didn't help at all because most of the people use her. And then we have RW, which is also a decent tenant. So now she has decent tenants who can reach high attack, but it will take a little bit. So for the start, a little bit low attack. But what we are going to do today, and this is actually going to be pretty fancy, we are going to take a look and see what this guy can do as a damage dealer. Keep in mind, no giant killer. So everything that you see in terms of damage right now, you can double that. Because with giant killer, we obviously would have double the damage. So that is the thing. We have to do 2 things today. I want to show you guys a little bit of broken spaces, because you can see 53 hours right there. We're just quickly going to slap our way through here. I think I'm just going to clear like the first 6 stages immediately. Okay, do I expect him to do well here? I expect him to do decent. Not super well, because we don't have giant killer. I don't think he will do super big damage, but I think it will still be nice. And then we're going to go into a turf that is a little bit more of his thing. And we will go and do a little bit of Realm Skate. Where I noticed that I still don't have the perfect smash unlocked, so we have to kind of work a little bit on that. Let's see how that looks. Might look really crazy. Okay, less crazy than I thought, because he does a little bit of initial damage, and this initial damage is enough to clear the earlier stages. So I was hoping that it would actually clear this stage here as well, very early on with a single hit. I remember this being tough, but this was tough years ago, so I reckon this is going to be a pretty quick end here for this stage. Yeah, one single ult, still enough without Giant Killer. At 200 million attack, I mean, you expect nothing else. The Russell, let's see. And he loses half of his HP at the beginning and immediately gains a shield, which is actually really, really good. Makes him get early use of like all of the healing effects that the allies have, while still having an effective HP that is probably even higher than with full HP. So it's pretty good. Big damage still on one-shots. I reckon this is going to change now. I did go for full support here. So we're not like in any position where we have additional damage dealers. The closest would probably be an HHA, but like, yeah, not really. So I just wanted him to be alone on the stage. If I put an LFA next to him, well, yeah, LFA is the boss damage dealer #1. That will stay that way, no question about it. For now, at least. I mean, at one point, they have to power creep that guy. It's weird enough that they haven't already. I'm pretty confused about this, that they haven't already. It's just that they made this weirdly coded skill. The difference between those bosses is insane. That was enough to one-shot the boss before, and you don't even see them lose HP a little bit. Like those Flame Shrine bosses used to lose in the past, you know? Like when you thought, did I damage it? Did it lose HP? I'm not sure. Okay, now we're seeing a little bit of damage. That is good. And we'll see. Yeah. So we'll have to see about this. Like I was always thinking, like, at one point we have to get like a boss damage dealer that is better than LFA. It never really happened. And the reason is obviously that in his ult it just has this insane multiplier to bosses, or this damage to bosses, which is just like absolutely insane. And I don't think if they don't code that on another boss, if they just don't give another hero the same ability in terms of just like, hey, it deals X amount of extra damage against bosses, I don't think they can even beat him unless you do something really insane. I mean, if you think about it, like for RFW, they did some really stupid stuff in terms of the percent attack damage dealt. I mean, they might do something like that in the future. But for now, for Wukong, they went an entirely different route, focusing more on PvP, focusing a little bit on PvE as well to an extent, but certainly not so much on bosses, because we can see right here, I mean, LFA would have one-shot that stage, probably even with the same attack. It does some decent damage to that Gloria. Not as much to the SDE though. SDE is still standing strong. We don't have an Endless Cane equipped, so we'll take a little bit longer, which is may not be the best idea. I'm not too sure. Should probably have put an Endless Cane on this. We didn't. We have Balance Strike equipped. Those fights take forever. My god. Okay. I think we're going to equip Endless Cane after this fight. We're going to watch this to the end. Maybe skip a few turns or something. Or, well, we can watch it to the end, I think. Just the chase attacks, plus extra SQH pings. I really did everything to make this fight last long. Shout out to the ad revenue. I guess that's a positive thing. More for me than for you. But I guess maybe we get the money back for the copy. Which I doubt. I mean, Idle Heroes is always net negative in terms of the money. We will probably kill that Gloria, which is better than a lot of other Transcendence heroes. So not bad at all. With Giant Killer, we could have probably cleared this stage. Could have seen that with Giant Killer. I thought about just getting a Giant Killer roll, but like I have a pretty decent PvP roll now, and then I want to go and get maybe Stun Immunity or Twine Immunity on that. And if I get like a Giant Killer, okay, we could make another video. That is an option, like maybe on Friday when we get a few more hammers. Maybe if we get a nice Giant Killer roll, we do another video. But I'm mostly aiming at PvP with this guy. Like, I don't really want to use him PvE. And in PvE, he has the stun. And I think the stun as more of a support option, that is fairly interesting. But I don't really care about him as a damage dealer in PvE. I just have enough options there. It's not like we are lacking damage dealers. We have RFW, we have DTV, we have SSM. Like, all of those super potent damage dealers. And I don't think I necessarily need another one on my account. I get asked this question quite often, like, oh, should I go for RFW? Should I go for this? Should I go for that? guess I still go for DTV as a damage dealer most of the time. I prefer that. And I'm still looking for like an SSS tier copy of DTV. Just like getting a really nice PvE roll for this guy, getting a ton of attack on him. Yes, great tenants anyway. So, yeah, could see that. Oh, that is so close. This took forever. And I didn't expect us to do that well. That is really good still. Okay, we're just going to end this stage now. And then I'm not sure. Like, this is going to take forever again. I don't know. Let's try it with Endless Cane one time. And then we will see how this works. Because like with the counters and everything, those stages take forever. This is a little bit horrible, I'll be honest. Oh, wait, no. Endless Cane. Of course, the Epic version. If I can find it. So I usually can't because it's not like... Where is it? I'm blind! It should be somewhere... I am blind, guys. There we go. 0% skill damage. Not too bad, we take it. 207.8 million right now. Let's see what we can do. With LFA, I should try to do it next time with LFA and just aim for one shot. That would be interesting. I'm going to skip turns 5 to 10, I think. I think that is what we're going to do. Because it's going to take forever. Like, I don't want to let you guys watch another 5-minute fight. We're just going to skip 5 turns in the middle. We're going to watch the first turns, we're going to watch the last turns, and I think that's going to be good. I think that is the way we're going to approach this. Just to save a little bit on time. We adjusted to this fight, not at all like a true whale. No strategy, which is the way you approach such things. We have 5 support heroes though, and only 1 Forces and 1 Vulcan in the enemy team, so I would be pretty surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if we were defeated in this fight. I absolutely doubt that this will be possible, because we have 16 divine power, and those guys I don't think have any divine power. Though the Vulcan, like the Vulcan in his base form, always feels a little bit weird. I remember that. We made a video about Vulcan. It's one of the most viewed videos on my main channel, by the way. Base Vulcan, A tier, A-. Summoned that myself from a B+ stone in Broken Spaces, one of the most viewed videos. And this guy looks straight up bugged when he attacks, because I don't think they gave him an attack animation for his ult. Just forgot about it. They did the Russell thing, and then they were like, they're going to do the Transcendence version anyway. So let's skip a little bit ahead till turn 10. And back we are, turn 10 right now. And while we were basically pausing the video, I was thinking like we should probably like really get an SSS tier DTV at one point. And then do a base Vulcan video and just see what we can clear with the base Vulcan. If we can do like 170 Void Corruption and what is possible. Like for the modes where you don't have to use a Transcendence version. Because this guy is really cool, has some really cool effects, and I think it would be interesting. Obviously, we have to get the copy first, which is not so easy because, well, they rarely hit the market. There was one on the market, the last one that I remember, and nobody wanted to buy it, including me. So, yeah, didn't think that I needed to spend the starry on that. Well, nowadays I would. Damage-wise, lackluster, I would say. Buff-wise, we're in a pretty good position though. Not too bad, not too bad. Even though we take the Forces all the time, our buffs are pretty much there, so not too bad. Do we get another ult on turn 15? That is the question. I doubt it from what I've seen. I'm seeing right there. Oh, we might. See if Forces eats the energy. Doesn't seem to be the case, so we might see another ult. And there we go, last ult. Yeah, okay, it's about the third, I guess. Oh, the third. He looks pretty cool when he's in the air. Like when he's bigger as a boss. Well, he makes a pretty good boss. I don't think they were able to deal any damage. 1.1 E plus 15 with an Endless Cane, nearly 9.95 E plus 14. Okay, he was able to do a little bit of damage to us. The Vulcan that can be very, very devastating. Not at all. So, how much of a threat were we? 76%. Let's see if we can clear it in 3. Smash. Attack. and is at 1%. It is at 1%. Can we clear that with foolish? What do you guys say? If I send a few foolish in there, will they clear it? People always ask me to do that. Like, Wraec, go ahead, your foolish are so strong. I don't think they are that strong, guys. I don't think they are that strong. Or we could send the Lord Bait armor. Oh, let's send the Lord Bait army. Lord Bait! Come on! That's meme worthy. Come on! 34 million. I will clear this with Lord Bait now. They are not one shot. Look at that. Actually dealing damage. 176 million. I will die next turn. They don't buff each other, so they don't trigger the marks. Just so stupid. Can we clear 1% of damage? That was not too bad. That's 3 billion damage. Okay. How many do you think it takes? We are at 2,500. I will put everything on the line. I will put everything on the line. We're clearly cleared with baits. Okay. Let's go. 2,583. Oh, it's loading a long time. I don't know. I'm losing confidence when I see this loading screen. Not too sure if that was a bright idea, guys. Maybe we should have upgraded them to level 100 so that they actually have skills. Oh, that is loading a really long time. Did we crash the DH server? Did they not think that we were actually about to send 2,500 attacks at them? That took a long time to collect. Okay, we got 113k magic dust. Let's see. Ooh! We lost them all. And the guy's still standing. Okay, that failed. Turns out 2,500 attacks with bait are not enough. One more attack with this team is though. Oh, wait. Yeah. So our endeavor to clear this with 2,500 baits failed. If we actually, that's way too more tanky than I thought. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, the 1% being quite something. I see. Didn't expect that. If we had like still this S tier Lord Bait that we once had, we once made a video about S tier Lord Bait. Surprisingly good, by the way. Surprisingly good because he has pretty decent scaling for his Gamba mechanic. So it's not too bad at all. Let's see, one more ult. Ah, come on. That's a joke, I'm going to skip this. This thing is bugged. Look at that, so much HP. That's crazy. Okay, we would have needed a few more attacks, I guess, with our Lord Bait. That's something. Let's head into Realmsgate and let's see what we can do right here. Okay, actually switch to Harp now on the team once again, and we are going to attack this at Void Corruption 170, which is the max at the moment, it seems. Somehow didn't notice even the last increase from 160 to 170. But the interesting thing is, we do have new heroes in here. So it's like with Gaggy and everything, and 15 Divine Power has been there for quite some time. Is it worth it doing that? No. The loot increase is absolutely marginal. It still gives you the same stuff as before, a little bit more wood for your Celestial Island. I mean, would be great for beginners. For me, completely worthless because I can't even fill the houses that I have. So same team as before. We are going to rely on our monkey here, and those enemies, keep that in mind, they do have a ton of HP. The main thing that could destroy us is probably from the Dark Faction healing curse. You can see they are also quite fast, but we have the full CC over here from the monkey. Control immunity offset on the copy in the bonus stats, of course, helping. Keep in mind, this guy, not a mage, so going to profit way less from all those mage buffs. And all the mage buffs also from the treasure train. So a lot less CI offset, a lot less control prec. He's doing surprisingly well with his CC still, nonetheless. So not really a thing. You want to have energy on this guy though, if you want to run him for CC. Tons of damage over here. We are also a little bit overpowered for this Void Corruption, I have to say. We're a little bit overpowered. We're going to try a few factions, probably going to try the Shadow faction, maybe one of the more difficult ones. The bosses are still the most difficult thing in here, I think. Like, in terms of damage up and damage they take, it's pretty crazy. But you can see, the CC, really, really good. On my account with like the CI offset stuff and everything. And I can only recommend you guys, even if you want to run Wukong, go for the CI offset star spawns, roll them, get yourself a nice roll on there, and this will definitely help you CC everything in your path. And of course, hero token, there are also some nice treasures in there, but not as much, or not as relevant, I would say, for Wukong, but still for other heroes, especially the mages, there are some very, very relevant treasures there. So, is the fortress one interesting? Oof. Home Xiang in the enemy team. We never like to see that. But, I mean, like, if you just consider him as CC support, it's good damage, no question about it. It's really good damage. But if you just use him as CC support, check this out. It's like, pretty great CC. And you add that, and you add, like, maybe a TBB to that. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We'll have very nice CC. And, of course, this is the crazy thing about this, really, is how insane that for PvP he is, really. Because for PvP, you suddenly have an additional CC that triggers at the start of the fight. Just need to put an energy artifact on the guy. You have a damage dealer that does that, so this guy deals a ton of damage, has the extra attacks, ripping through Unbending Will, and you have like the stun, and then you can run like a TBB, and the enemy, even if they were Twine immune before, suddenly struggle because, well, nobody's stun immune, and he can do this in PvE as well. So it's a bit crazy right there. Let's skip this one because we have already fought it, and then let's do the dark one, and then we can probably finish the video for them all, because already 22 minutes long. Already 22 minutes long. So, we no longer even have an armorer in here. Interesting. Armorer was always scary. I guess now we have the 4Cs not making stuff much better. But the rest of the squad there is a little bit less annoying, I guess. The normal dark squad was quite a pain compared to this. So you get the full stun. Well, of course. He doesn't. It's always the same. Everybody knows it. They don't even have a targeter for like Wukong here. And the carry does that randomly. And then she's just like, yeah, you're Wukong. Did you see that? That was crazy. He just decided that that my SQH and PD needed to go. I mean, we're relying only on one source of CC here, but like, you see that? That is like completely crazy, by the way, because I want you to understand how big those are. Like, those are not small heroes. That is crazy. We have 16 divine power on both of those, and they just went pop. That's insane. Let's check this out, because I really want to show you this now. Let's get into the team. Let's check out these stats. The real stats on those. So, stats that we have right here, 12 billion HP. Okay, we obviously have no Star Soul right here. 12 billion HP. And here we have 10 billion HP. SS tier, Giant Killer. And here we have skill damage, silence immunity. Okay, all offensive stats. With the DR, 56%, but you have to keep in mind we get extra. Speed, 2760. And then we also, of course, we were in Realms Gates, so that is also an area that is targeted by Treasure Train. Treasure bonus, let's open that. Fixed attribute stuff, okay. Transcendent stuff, that always applies with 20 all damage reduction. And then if we have like a priest, that stuff always applies. Damage reduction by attack all the time. And then we have Realms Gate, where we have an additional 216 speed, 60 block, 40 armor, 45% all damage reduction is in there. We have crit damage reduction. I think all damage reduction doesn't even work against marks. I'm not too sure. Would have to check that again. Like, it's always so confusing. Damage reduction a little bit. Control precision is in there. So I guess, yeah, we have to keep that in mind when we check out the hero. We check out Wukong. So it's a lot of stuff actually in here just for Realms Gate. And still, just from a single 4-seat attack. That's insane. And it's been a little bit of the meta in recent times in PvE content for idle heroes, where everything has the ability to absolutely destroy you. There was the time where nothing could destroy. That was certainly more boring. Now it's like everything has a chance. I kind of like that part, but it also gives CC so much relevance. And now we're at the point where in PvP you can't even sustain yourself anymore. There's no sustain meta at all in PvP anymore because everything can nuke you. So yeah, I don't know. It's certainly a meta, I guess. But if it's the one that I like, I don't know. I wish we would go back to a little bit more of a sustained playstyle. That was really cool. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. We'll do some further stuff with this copy. Maybe a PvP video. Would you like that? Tell me down in the comments below. And with that, I wish you a great day. Check out SG Hub in the description for cheap Starry Gems. Forgot to say that. Should never forget to say that. And with that, I wish you a great day. See us in the next one.